Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about junk science and propaganda. The great American physicist Richard Feynman said, "It doesn't matter how beautiful your theory is. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If it doesn't agree with experiment, it's wrong." Now let's look at a theory and compare it against actual data. The Center for Disease Control gives 3-month window of immunity after COVID-19 infection. They say a person who has recovered from COVID-19 will likely be safe from reinfection for 3 months. The information marks the first acknowledgement of a defined immunity period for people who've recovered from a COVID-19 infection. Prior research has shown antibodies from recovered patients will fade over the course of a few months, but federal scientists had not previously said what that means for immunity. What they're saying is that you're going to have to survive COVID-19 every 3 months. You survive it once, you survive it twice, you survive it a third time, but on the fourth time at the end of the year it kills you. Now let's look at some empirical data and see if this theory makes any sense. This is the chart of daily COVID-19 deaths in New York. They had a big spike back in March and April when Governor Cuomo was sending thousands of sick people into nursing homes and killing lots of old people. But the government of New York succeeded in killing off most of the vulnerable population, and now they're hardly having any deaths at all. If the CDC 3-month theory were correct, there should have been another spike 3 months after the first one, but that spike doesn't exist. According to the CDC theory, everybody's immunity should have worn off by mid-July, and there should have been another big spike. COVID alarmists would say that the second spike didn't occur because they locked down the state and made everybody wear masks. Now let's test that theory out with some more empirical data. This is the graph for daily deaths in Sweden, which looks very similar to New York. But Sweden never locked down and they never mandated masks. Yet Sweden has the same shaped graph as New York. There's no second spike. There's no indication that people's immunity wore off. It looks like Sweden has reached herd immunity. The CDC theory does not match data. It appears to be wrong. And not only is the CDC theory wrong, but COVID modelers were disastrously incorrect. COVID modelers predicted nearly 100,000 people dead in Sweden by mid-July because they didn't lock down. In reality, they had fewer than 6,000 deaths. The modeler said that at least 96,000 deaths would occur by July 1st in Sweden without mitigation. Let's go back and look at Feynman's quote again. It doesn't matter how beautiful your theory is. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If it doesn't agree with experiment, it's wrong. Now let's look at the United Kingdom. Their daily death graph looks very similar to that from New York and from Sweden, and they didn't mandate masks until the epidemic was essentially over. This shows us a couple of things. The UK government is completely incompetent, and the other thing is that there was no second spike after 3 months. There's no indication, once again, that people's immunity wore off after 3 months. And finally, let's look at the Netherlands. The graph on the left is the number of daily new cases. You can see that there was a big spike back in April, and now there's a second spike occurring again. At first glance, that would appear to lend support to the CDC theory that immunity wears off after 3 months. But now let's look at the graph on the right, the number of daily deaths. There's no second spike there. So in this graph, I've overlaid the two graphs, daily cases in green and daily deaths in red. You can see that about 10 days after the first spike in cases, there was a spike in daily deaths. But for the second spike in cases, there's no corresponding spike in daily deaths. Clearly, this spike is quite different from the first one. So whatever this second spike is, it doesn't appear to be a deadly disease. The infection fatality rate of the second spike is extremely low. In fact, it's close to zero. So there doesn't appear to be any good reason for government to be worried about this second spike, because it's hardly killing anybody. There seems to be little or no empirical evidence supporting the CDC theory. Yet the CDC is clearly trying to terrify the country into believing this is going to keep popping up over and over again. Let's see if we can figure out why they would be doing that. Billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates laid out what the world needs from a COVID-19 vaccine in order to reopen society. Gates argued that the world will need 7 billion doses eventually, one for every person on the planet. He added that the COVID-19 vaccine will likely become part of a newborn immunization schedule. Let's look at that last statement again. Bill Gates wants to vaccinate babies. Yet according to the CDC, COVID-19 does not kill babies. And also according to the CDC, COVID-19 antibodies wear off after 3 months. So what would be the point in vaccinating babies? All that vaccines do is stimulate antibody production. And if those antibodies wear off after 3 months, you'll have to get a new vaccine anyway. Nothing about this makes any sense. Let's look at another quote from Bill Gates to get a clue as to what's going on here. He says multiple vaccine doses could be necessary to protect from coronavirus. CDC is fear-mongering about losing your antibodies every 3 months. So under this regime, everybody would have to get vaccinated every 3 months. That would make an incredible amount of money for Big Pharma. What a great scam, but it has nothing to do with science and nothing to do with the public interest. Now let's look at one more quote from Bill Gates. There could be a substantial reduction in COVID-19 death rates by year's end. Wow, this guy's a real genius. There already is a substantial reduction in COVID-19 death rates, as we've seen in the previous graphs. There's almost no deaths occurring in New York anymore, and New York had the highest death rate in the world. Gates' statement also shows why there's no need for widespread vaccination usage. Common sense tells us that if the disease is killing very few people, we should only be using vaccines on the high-risk population, if it's safe for them. And it also belies the CDC's claim that antibodies wear off after 3 months. If the antibodies were wearing off, as CDC claims, we would see a substantial increase in COVID-19 deaths by year's end, not a decrease. Bill Gates has used his money to purchase a lot of influence into the World Health Organization and the CDC, and it's pretty obvious that something seriously wrong is going on here. The statements from CDC, those from Bill Gates, and the actual data are wildly contradictory. Whatever these people are up to, it does not agree with experiment. Toto doesn't like people who want to go around sticking needles in all 7 billion people in the world. In fact, that's a violation of the Nuremberg Code. You can visit Toto on the web at realclimatescience.com. He's been pulling back the curtain on junk science and propaganda for a long time.